With the fastest mobile processor on a phone, water resistance, better cameras, great battery life, and a beautiful display, there's not much that the new iPhone can't do. It seems like everything that I've wanted the iPhone to get better at happened, and the result we got was this, the iPhone 7. If you enjoy doing things quickly, then you're going to want the iPhone 7. It's got the fastest processor on a phone at the time of this review going live, the A10 Fusion, and while you can't really tell by just using the device on a daily basis, jumping from app to app is fast, and I haven't had the phone slow down or freeze up on me at any point yet. Most transitions are smooth, although closing apps looks a little bit different and is a bit more jumpy. This might be because of the crazy new solid-state home button. It doesn't move at all, and in fact, the vibrations you get are like 3D touch. It's really strange at first, but honestly, I'm really starting to like it. And as of right now, you have to make contact with skin for it to work. If you put your t-shirt over your finger, the home button just doesn't respond, and I feel like this will get really annoying with long sleeves or gloves on. And sometimes it acts up on the lock screen, and I don't know whether this is a hardware problem, a software bug, or a mix of both. It only happens occasionally, but it slows me down every time. The Taptic home button is a cool change, but it doesn't feel completely nailed down just yet. We haven't touched on cameras this far. They're good, as always. The aperture is lower this time at f1.8, which means that more light can be let into the lens, enabling better low light performance. But almost everything else remains the same, 12 megapixels, 4K video recording, unless we're talking about that crazy dual camera system on the iPhone 7 Plus. I haven't had a chance to test it just yet, but from what I've seen, it's pretty damn good. I remember how we only used to take pictures with the rear iSight camera on our phones, just a few years ago? But now we've evolved into these selfie enthusiasts, and the iPhone 7 is officially one of the best phones for front-facing photos, with a 7 megapixel shooter that looks really sharp, albeit not remarkably better than the 5 megapixel shooter on the iPhone 6s. The iPhone 7 also has some nice bells and whistles that add to the already well-defined experience. There are stereo speakers that make everything twice as loud as last generation, and while not sounding like a truly great speaker should, they're alright. I've become so accustomed to listening to decent audio lately that I just came to expect something more from the iPhone 7. It's not that it's any worse than the iPhone 6s, it's about the same, but from a company that owns Beats, I just wanted something better this year. There's a better screen, too, that produces these insane colors and looks shockingly good all of the time. It's made possible by a new wide color gamut that portrays colors in a vivid, lifelike manner that no joke makes everything pop and feel alive. And with auto brightness enabled, the screen is even able to get up to 25% brighter. On top of that, the iPhone 7 is actually IP67 water and dust resistant, meaning that it's completely good for dust and up to 30 minutes and up to 1 meter of water if you jump in a pool. But I'm still that guy who's just not comfortable throwing my iPhone in a bucket or pool of water. If it happens by accident, you'll be fine, but I definitely can't recommend doing it just because. If you decided to buy an iPhone 7, there are two new finishes to choose from this year: jet black and black. I actually planned on getting the jet black model up until launch day, but I changed my mind at the very last minute as there were no jet black versions to choose from. I just went with regular black, and I'm completely happy with its clean and simple look. Finally, we have to discuss battery life, because it is quickly becoming the defining aspect of most tech purchases today. Compared to the iPhone 6s, it is a definite improvement because I have legitimately never had worse battery life than with last year's iPhone. This time around, it's better. It's not as great as Apple made it sound, and it doesn't last as long as I think it should, but with normal usage, however you might define that, it lasts an entire day. I'm a heavier user, and I'll generally have to stick it on the charger prior to the end of the day, but if you woke up at 9 AM and were in bed at 11 PM, you'll probably have between 0 and 10% of your battery left when you put it on the charger. I'll repeat what I said earlier. The iPhone 7 is what I've wanted the iPhone to become since I can remember. With the fastest mobile processor on a phone, water and dust proofing, a fantastic battery, a beautiful screen, and even better cameras, there's not much that the iPhone 7 doesn't do for me, and buying it was a no-brainer. If you're upgrading from a 6s, I'd say that it's worth the price. Sure, I get the new iPhone every year, and I'm entirely biased, but seriously, it is a solid device. And you almost thought I would end it there, without even talking about the headphone jack debacle. But that just wouldn't be fair. In over a week of owning this device, there has been one single situation where I needed to connect to an aux, only to realize that I neither had the adapter nor a headphone jack with me. Was it an inconvenience? Sure, but was it really that big of a deal? No, not at all. Someone else just used their phone instead, and the music lived on anyway.
If you've been counting along with me, then you know the iPhone 7 is the 9th year since the iPhone's been out, which means that next year is going to be even bigger than this time around. There's already rumors of an OLED display and a million other features that I already want, but I know that I've named at least 7 reasons that the iPhone 7 was worth it for me.